It's time to make it. Just give it a try. 'Cause you can make it like the old fat guy.
I appreciate you watching this episode of You Can Make It. I'm David Farrell, author of The Old Fat Guy's Guide to Smoking Meat for Beginners. Today I'm going to make just some basic smoked country style ribs. Now, why do a video of a basic recipe that everybody does all the time? It's because I have a product to try. One of the best things about being on social media is you meet people who are creative and make their own products. And one of those people who contacted me is Winter Harbor Bub and Mother's Down East Dynadust, and it also makes a product called Winter Harbor Bub and Mother's Honey and Heat. They sent me some of each to try, so you need to know I got the product for free, but I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion of it. Now, I'm doing basic country style ribs because they're a good show place for a rub and a good test to see how it will turn out. I'm going to start with the Bub and Mother's Down East Dynadust. The first thing I note about it is that there's not a lot of salt in it. So many commercial rubs have so much salt, I think it's the only thing you can taste. So let's try some of theirs just by itself. There's a touch of sweet, a little bit of fruitiness, some herbs. There is some salt in it, but not too much. Just a really nice complex rub. I think it's going to go really well. We'll have to try it cooked. Now, let's try the honey and heat. Same thing, not a lot of salt, as you can see. You can taste the sweetness of the honey. It's definitely sweeter, and it's got a little bit more of a kick, a little bit more burn, but also has a nice complexity. So, I'm going to put some rub on some of my country style ribs here. Excuse me. We'll start with these two with the Down East Dynadust. And give it a good coating because we want to get a good try of the product. There we go. And now the honey and heat on two others. And there we go. Now I'm going to let these sit for a good hour and a half to 2 hours just to let the rub kind of put some flavor into the meat. And then we'll take them out to the smoker and make some country style ribs. I'll see you at the smoker. So I've put the ribs in my smoker. I've preheated the smoker to 230 degrees and I'm smoking it with competition blend pellets. I use the competition blend because I don't want to do anything that's going to really mess up with the flavor of the rub. It gives a nice smoky flavor, but it's kind of neutral. I've put my probe in it to keep track of when the ribs are done because, as anybody who smokes knows, you cook by temperature, not by time. So when these get to 155 degrees Fahrenheit, they'll be the way I like my pork, and we'll get to the next step. See you then. I've smoked the country style ribs to an internal temperature of about 150 degrees, and I want to give two of them a glaze so I can test the rub with glaze and without glaze. This took about an hour and 10 minutes at 230 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm just going to give one of the ribs that were done in the Dyna sauce, or Dyna rub rather, with some barbecue sauce, and one that was done with the honey heat. And then we'll just give them a little flip here. and give the other side of those two ribs a glaze as well. Now I'm using Koss sauce, which is one of my favorite barbecue sauces. You can look up my review of it online. It's got a wonderful, nice, sharp taste with some good sour and sweet notes that I think will go really well in testing the rubs. So now that we've got these rubbed down, it should take about 10 more minutes to get the ribs where I want them to be, and we'll have a taste. See you then. So let the ribs continue in the smoker for 10 to 15 minutes to put the barbecue sauce on it as a glaze. And now's the chance to try our delicious basic barbecue country ribs. Now, I always think the true test of a rub is can it stand up naked, which means with no sauce or anything else, just putting the rub on the meat. So I have two of the ribs that are done with each of the rubs. The first one I'm going to do with the Down East Dynadust, and just it by itself. So we'll just take a little taste. The rib, of course, is basically smoked. Smoked ribs are delicious. Country style ribs have the best flavor. But with that rub, there's definitely not the salty crust you get from some of the cheaper rubs. It has a bit of sweetness, a little bit of spice, but not any heat at all, and some complexity from some herbs that I can't identify, but it is a very tasty rub. I really like it. So let's try it naked on with the Honey Heat rub. You can definitely pick up more notes of sweetness, and there's a bit of heat that builds as you chew it. Not offensive, but a real nice heat. Just warms your mouth. Between the two, I have to say I prefer the Honey Heat, but I like them both so far. Now the second test for a rub is how it does when you glaze the meat with sauce, because now it's got to fight with the sauce. Will it fight with it, or will it blend with it and add complexity to the glazing? So let's try the Down East Dynadust first on a rib with some sauce glazed onto it. Now, I love Koss sauce, so I'm expecting this to be really good. There is definitely complexity added to my delicious Koss sauce that I love. The two go together extremely well. I would say that even though I really like the Koss sauce, the rub added a complexity and a different layer that I really enjoy. So now let's try it with the Honey Heat and some glaze on it. Also goes really well with the sauce. Does add that gentle warm heat that comes in. The sweetness isn't as noticeable because the barbecue sauce has some sweetness, but also adds some complexity. But now I have a problem in making a recommendation to you. Naked, I think I prefer the Honey Heat. It has more complexity. However, mixed with a sauce, the Down East Dynadust, I think adds even more complexity and goes better with the sweetness of a barbecue sauce. I can only say I would be absolutely happy to use either of these rubs at any time. They're both very high quality products. I can't find anything at fault with them. Plus, they don't oversalt. They give a complexity that I like. You can tell that whoever made these took the time to make a good rub. And the best part is they go great on a basic country style rib, and you can make it.
have a good woman. I ain't good looking, but I do some cooking. I'm the old fat guy. So use that oven if you want some lovin'. Be like the old fat guy. Be like the old fat guy.